Greetings, mortals, and welcome back.
To me adjusting my chair. How's it going? Had a very nice spa day yesterday. We went to a place that had a bunch of hot pools and cold pools. And the cold ones were really cold, and the hot ones were really hot. Which is pretty cool. Well, I mean, the cool ones are cool anyway. Anyway, it was interesting. It was also interesting because it's like the sensation of going into an 8-degree like cold bath was very familiar to me. I'm like, yes, I have been here before. I've never done like a cold bath to my knowledge, but I did live in the ass end of nowhere, Minnesota. So I also did jump into a Canadian lake at one point. So one of those experiences reminded me of this, or did remind me of, was the same sensation as what I got in the cold bath. Cold baths, however, are not my thing. I was doing it purely for the nostalgia factor of being like, yes, this is a sensation that I don't ever experience, and that I can get into a 40-degree bath or whatever. It was nice. It was a good time. So, when last we left off, we had just done a proof of concept taking out a few of the Gogs. We had already done most of our inventory management that we're able to do right off the bat. And now we're looking for... Sorry, I'm doing the link. Yeah. Alright, we're starting up. Did not sleep great last night. You'd think that I would. The problem is that because I was so relaxed by the thing, my body was like, well, it's 7 o'clock. It's time to sleep. And I ignored my body at 7 o'clock and did not sleep. And then it said, okay, so you never want to sleep ever again, right? That's what I'm hearing here, is that sleep is just not a thing that we should ever do ever again. Great, excellent. Adrenaline. Pumps full of adrenaline, or whatever it is that it pumps you full of when you're an insomniac like me. And it's like, we missed the window of opportunity to sleep. Okay, well, that's fine. I didn't need to sleep anyway. I got to sleep at like 4 or something. Okay. So now, we have some more Gogs over here. We might as well just clear these out. Do I need to clear out the Gogs right now? Oh, there's a fire resistance pedestal right here. Wow. That'll make my life a lot easier, actually. I might even be able to just fight this thing, if we're being honest.
Good tidings.
You don't look like a troll at all. It's a totally different face.
How are you this evening?
Why do you look like this? It's a totally different model. Like, that's clearly an orc ogre. Alright. Oh, we've got more over there. If I had If I had played this correctly, I could have gotten... all of these.
Ow!
Wow. Wow.
Sorry.
Oh! They changed monster damage. Monster damage is changed
I
now.
don't know it.
So, I forgot about that. That was a component of the thing. I think we don't use those things anymore then. We don't use more guards. Because it's going to be a bit of a nuisance to keep them alive for. Roll for a harden potion? Isn't the only thing that I would want to harden my thingamabobber? Let's see if I can secure the kills here. This is only worth 60 experience, so I don't even necessarily have a reason to care, but... yeah, these are taking way more damage now. Alright. That's good to know. Roll for harden item potion. I can roll, and then we'll see if there's anything on the character that I roll for that needs such a potion. Let's destroy one of them rainforests. It's a 5. I could throw a hard item potion on Atlas. Let's see. Ooh. Indeed.
Sorry. Yes!
Power overwhelming.
There's no room left. Anyone thirsty? There's no... Yes! Anyone thirsty?
Let's see.
There's no room. Yes! Anyone thirsty?
This doesn't have a required power level. Alright, this does also mean that when I'm dealing with these Cyclops, I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to approach them. That's concerning, but we'll... that's fine. We can just walk away. If that ends up being a problem. That is definitely going to be a problem, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to just reload this. I'm not going to go in that direction. I'm just going to let them do their thing. Okay, so with this change, the enemies, I didn't see the specifics. It just said that it was fixed, which doesn't necessarily mean anything to me. They now are doing way more damage to each other than they were before. So we'll see if
We could spare it.
these are all fairly healthy. Oh, that's gonna change things pretty considerably. Why is there an axe here that I haven't picked up? That's pretty funny.
It's worthless.
Okay.
It won't fit. It won't fit. Sorry. 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 It won't fit.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge downgrade over certainly everybody's main hands. Okay. Well, that means that we have to deal with the rest of the Cyclopses. This would have been a lot easier if I'd cleared the Cyclopses yesterday. So, man, a Madness playthrough is going to be a completely different type of playthrough in the next time that I do one. That's definitely way too many enemies for me to actually fight.
We can spare it.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Just like fully. Whoops. Whoops. Whoopsie doopsie. Okay, I'd love to get just one of these. I might need to go back to Alvar. Is this two mid-tiers?
I've never seen one before.
It sure do be. I don't know if I can handle two mid-tiers, honestly, but I'll try it. You're paralyzed. You aren't paralyzed. Two mid-tiers I might be able to handle, but it's not going to be consistent. So, what do I want to do about you? Man, if I was... We might...
I require assistance.
We might be approaching a situation where making significant forward progress is going to require... maybe using ranged attacks. Like something real crazy like that. I'm just trying to think of... I might need to, if I'm going to be clearing out these exterior areas, it's going to go a lot slower. Man, we didn't clear this. Man, it's so unfortunate that I had that hard out. Because if I didn't have that hard out, then we could have... Then I wouldn't have necessarily done the crafting stuff. I would have been like... I would have just waited a few minutes. You got killed outright. God damn. Okay, so... They do almost exactly 3,900 effective HP. I just realized that you're the least tanky person in the party right now for some reason. Oppo, why are you the least tanky person in the party when you're the person with cover? You have so many points of cover. Why did I not give you any points of HP? Or durability or mitigation or anything? Huh. I don't know. See, what do I want to do? I'm going to take a look at the at the locations list. I'm tired and I don't have to pay too close of attention, so maybe I will. Iron Sand is not that high level, is the issue. Iron Sand, there's not a lot of places that we still have left to go that's lower level than this. Free Haven would probably be easier to clear. Well, not to clear, but to clear at least part of. The archers are probably easier to deal with. No. There's the master archers who have the fireballs, so the fireballs are going to cause the problem. The Barrow Downs. We do have the Ogre Fortress, but the Ogre Fortress is really jam-packed. I feel like the Bandit Caves were giving me problems. I haven't cleared Misty Islands yet, but I'm not going to get much out of Misty Islands. I think maybe I go to Alvar. We can try then to check out the Wasps as well. I think that might be reasonable. Okay, what other chests? Because it would be really nice to pick up all the chests. This is going to slow things down a lot. Because for any sort of normal human being, it's not super hard to just kill these with ranged attacks. I would really prefer not to go like that crazy. Like, allowing myself to use ranged attacks would allow me to clear any of these exterior zones without too much difficulty. It would be slow as hell. I have like no DPS with ranged attacks. But hypothetically I could do that. I could also just farm deaths, brute forcing my way to these chests. I think I might actually do that. I think we might actually just farm up some deaths here.
Can someone heal me?
So, we got that thing killed. There's actually more than one there. That's unfortunate. We've cleared the chest over there. There's like a... Wait, do I try to do the Cyclops larder just unironically? Wait a second. Do I have like a solution? I feel like I might actually have fairly robust solutions to the Cyclops larder after the initial bit. But I might not. I don't remember. Cyclops larder is level 318. I doubt I'd get through the initial room. So without a way to consistently get through the initial room, I don't think it's worth worrying about.
Ow!
Eradicated. That was an eradication proc. That's a concern. So some of these are doing a proc eradication on me. If they have an eradication proc in play, the only reasonable way that we're going to kill them is by not letting them hit us. I could just keep pulling to the guards for now. There's more of a concern of me losing EXP or or the guards dying if I do that than there was before. Yeah, the other thing that I could do, in theory, is this tier 1? I think it is. Tier 1 I should be pretty safe with. Okay. Unfortunately, we got 2 tier 1s here, which is not fully safe, I don't think. It's fairly safe. I'd need to get a lot of bad luck to have Ocelot go down to those. Luckily, I can't be paralyzed by them. I mean, some characters can be paralyzed by them, but I can't be paralyzed permanently by them. Because the character who cures it is immune to paralysis. So... no threat there. I guess the one threat that technically does exist is the idea of a paralysis coming out on one character and another character getting stoned by like a random proc from like the actual like random procs that some of them are given. Unfortunately, we did get 2, just a little suboptimal. But yeah, if I could actually get them stuck on this chest consistently, which might be possible, it would be pretty reasonable to clear them with that. Could you stop? This is 2 top tiers. And yeah, these do enough damage now that even just a couple of top tiers is going to be dealing a shit ton of damage. Okay. This is a duo of hunters. I can't take 2 hunters. I can't actually fight this. I mean, I might get lucky. Do we just see if we get lucky? I think we might. Ow. Okay, that's certainly going to hurt my ability to get lucky. Okay, so you had eradication. So on the last hit that it got, it tagged eradication. That's lovely. Who else has eradication? There's multiple. We're leaving. I'm not dealing with an entire series of eradication enemies right now. That's very concerning. This isn't a terribly high level area, so getting enemies with access to eradication right now is like, oh no. Let's see. I don't know what we're gonna do next. Actually, what do we want to do? I think we just walk to Alvar, honestly. I think that's the play. So we walk to Alvar, and in Alvar, we can put her around. Expert Regen is here. I don't need to pick that up on anybody, though, I don't think. We have almost enough to pick up another Mastery, which is nice. I don't really know what order I want to pick up the masteries in. Alright, so we've cleared out a third of this zone. We can see how tough the thingers are now. Like, we, in theory, should be substantially stronger than the last time we were here. Let's hope so. I haven't really gotten anything that I really want, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Alright, so these are actually going to be very trivial now. My DPS has gone through the roof since the last time I was here. I don't remember how long it's been since I was fighting these, but apparently it's been a while. I did pump my DPS very recently by quite a large amount. We finally got like some nice axe upgrades after not getting like almost any for a fairly long time. So that is more than I should have pulled. That's fine.
Got it. Yes.
We might actually be able to handle the wasp nest. The wasp nest is a little higher level, so the enemies will be a little higher level in there than they are out here. But if we're killing things this fast... This has 2,000 HP, so this is like 2-shottable by anybody, and Dwarf is guaranteed to one-shot it again. We don't need a crit to one-shot. But yeah, unfortunately, we just aren't going to get any EXP. I don't know when EXP is going to start picking up.
Yes.
I guess when we start doing a dungeon. The wasp nest is going to be a lot harder than the last time we entered it, though, because it's going to have 50% higher monster density.
Got it. Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah, sorry for all the yawning. I'm just not fully awake. I'm mostly awake. There's a reflector. I do think that I kill the non-bosses first. The HP on the bosses has been reduced. So...
Yes.
that means that there will be less EXP gained from the bosses.
It won't, sir. It won't fit.
Because the EXP formula uses their
Worthless.
HP in it. You know, past me seems to have left me with a problem of not having any inventory space. Imagine who would do such a thing? What kind of monster
It's worthless.
would leave me with no inventory space? Antisocial behavior.
Oh, yes.
End up with a bunch of random stingers in inventory for the rest of the game. That's not true. I'm going to make sure that I get rid of them while we're here. Okay, so we're going to go up to this other hill. We're going to clear the enemies off of this other hill. Once we've done that, we should be fine. And now we're falling, but you can't take falling damage off of a jump spell. So that's nice and convenient. Of course, if you hit the cliff on the way down and then keep running forward, you will take damage from the fall that you took without a jump. But that's my point.
Got it.
Okay. Whew. Let's save it up. And move right along. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting dilemma, dealing with the upcoming stuff.
Yes.
Our DPS is very reasonable for dealing with the stuff that's coming up, but our durability is really far behind. So I'll have to see how I'm going to manage that. It's not like crazy far behind. Like the Gogs were not that big of a problem. It's like they're kind of a problem in this context because usually you find Gogs in areas with like a bunch of walls where the only thing you have to deal with is the explosion, and instead you have to deal with like a ton of them hitting you all at once, and they also explode. Right? So, it's like about... Oh, it's a bit of a different dynamic. I guess I should probably jump up here, huh? I guess I should probably do that. Okay. There's not that many up here, actually. We cleared most of them downstairs.
Yes. Oh, yes.
This feels like the kind of place that there should be something interesting, like a secret chest, but I don't think there is a secret chest up here. Like, you'd think that one of these flowers would be a secret chest, but I don't think that it is. Alright, let's go to clear out some ogres. And they do the scary face as if, like, they are going to take damage, but they don't take damage. They don't take damage. They're fine. They're protected by the bounds of the spell. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can just brute force all of these.
Still standing.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So,
Got it.
not too crazy. This is still a very low level zone. I think this place is like level 60 or something. What level are you? Oh, it's not even that high. It might be considered a level 60 zone, but like the lowest are level 40. So this is really, really an easy zone.
Yes. Still standing.
I think the Dark Dwarf stronghold is also fairly low level, but because of how strong Rock Blast is, I think that's going to go nowhere fast. That was an item break. Oh.
Got it. Got it. Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay. Save the game. We have Master on you, so we'll just... Hey, we looted an axe. Love that. Love that. We do love to see it. Okay, save it up. Yeah, it's very funny how, like, the metas of games change, like, over time. I was watching a video essay just now about... Not just now, it was, like, a couple days ago. That was about, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. I mean, it technically wasn't about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta, but it was, like... It was about... whatchamacallit? It was about a person who won using...
Got it.
It's not Ozma, I don't think. What the thing that you assemble 5 pieces out of? There's 5 pieces of them, and if you assemble them, you just win the game automatically. Like it's a win. It's an alternate win condition for the game. Is to have these 5 cards in your deck and to have all of them in your hand at the same time. Which is meant to be a thing that, like... is, like, kind of a crazy way to finish the game, because it's like every time you put one in your hand, it's in your hand now, and it has to be in your hand. You play them all at the same time. So, I believe that the last card that you pick up is gonna have to be one of those cards, right? So there's ways to, like, fish for them or whatever, right? But it was like the intent was that this is like a kind of a Hail Mary crazy way to play, I believe. I could be wrong there, but that's the impression that I get off of the dynamic. That was certainly my impression when I heard. I had, like, a couple of acquaintances in high school who played Yu-Gi-Oh, but they were like acquaintances, and I never played it with them. But I don't even know if it was about playing it or so much as like they were watching the show or something. Anyway, so I was very vaguely familiar with this particular like I win button in the game. Right? It's kind of it was similar to like a slightly less well-known variant on the Blue Eyes White Dragon or whatever, right? Anyway, it was interesting to see people playing this game in like a tournament setting because the both players had a deck that needed to win the game on the first turn, because if they passed the turn to the other player would win the game on the first turn. So the fundamental gameplay was, did I get the combo that I need to win the game into my hand, which is one of, several cards that lead into a win condition? Or do I have enough counters that prevent the opponent? Basically, do I have enough counter spells to prevent the opponent from winning on their turn so that I get to draw again and hope that I can, like, win the game on that turn? And it looked like total madness to me. Because the combos that allow you to win the game are not short combos. It's like, okay, I summon this creature. Now that this creature is on the board, I can use its text that it has to summon this other creature. And now that I have this other creature on the board, I can use its text to summon this other creature. Now that I can have that creature on the board, I can summon this other creature. And now I have 15 creatures on the board on turn 1. I attack and you die. It's like that kind of shenanigans where it's like, how have the rules not been altered by now to prevent you from summoning 15 creatures on turn 1? That's an insane thing to be able to do. But you can. And like you have the ability to like directly call cards from your deck and shit like that. So like, which is not an unusual mechanic in and of itself. Like, it's not crazy that there's some cards that allow you to just like search for X in your deck, play X. Like that's a thing that like Magic has that as well. But like the idea that like the entire meta is just people playing cards that play other cards that play other cards and then which then play other cards. Anyway, truly wild. It's like, because like definitely like it just kind of goes to show you like how crazy things can get and how quickly they can get that crazy. If that makes any sense, it's like, oh yeah, we've gone from a set of rules that, mostly kind of makes sense to a set of rules that means that every round is a lethal round. And I just found that interesting. I also found the knitting community on YouTube, and there was apparently a SciShow video about knitting that just completely shit the bed on basically every point. And, like, they start off the video referencing a real thing, and then completely botch it because they reference a real thing, but then like the way they describe it definitely indicates that the thing they're talking about is not the thing that's the real thing. It's another thing that's real, but it's not a knitted thing. It was this whole thing where like they started the video with a huge like a huge technical error, right? Like really, it's a big deal in your video about knitting if you describe like 1700-year-old technology as 800 years old. Like the difference in tech, for just think about anything, right? Textiles are just like anything else. The difference in tech between what was being done 2,000 years ago and what was being done 800 years ago, night and day. These are not similar things, and it was interesting watching the knitting community's response to a lot of it. Some of it felt to me like they were maybe being a little sensitive, but at the same time, it's hard to like say that they were being oversensitive, considering that like there was little enough respect for the source material and like the actual history and like technological growth that's gone into textiles over the last 2,000 years, that they got really massive errors built in right from the jump. So it's like I get the sensitivity there, right? Where it's like, okay, you're like leaning into some really misogynist tropes here, like, and also like getting all the facts of the situation wrong. Which is like, it's not a good combo, right? Like if someone is adjacent to like if the framing is like a little off, right? But it's like normie off, where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like a normie is a normie's kind of misogynist, right? Like it's not like a huge deal necessarily to like have that come into your language use at least a little bit. Like in some of the responses, some of the people were the things that they were saying about like grannies or whatever were implicitly, not explicitly, but implicitly, kind of not great, right? Because these are young people, and they don't want to think of themselves as grannies, right? So anyway, it was just an interesting thing. It was like such a major scandal that SciShow actually pulled the video, because it just was riddled with factual inaccuracies that they couldn't justify leaving printed, and it was really interesting because I don't think I've ever seen the channel shit the bed that bad before. Like I haven't heard of them like really just like beefing it that badly. Like I guess if you listen to them talk about economics, but they don't usually talk about economics on SciShow. Man, listening to God, what's that guy's name? Hank Green. Listening to Hank Green talk about political theory is legitimately painful. It's like, oh man, open a book, please. I know you can read. You don't need to read a book. It's fine. You can get political knowledge from other sources than books. They're probably better to get them from other sources than books, honestly. Books are not necessarily the highest information density. And it's so much harder to fact check a book. You know, like fact checking a book is a whole pain in the ass. Anyway, it was just interesting. It was an interesting video. I see all sorts of interesting videos. See all sorts of interesting stuff, full of wonder and delight. We're eligible for 113, so we've got 2 levels stored up. We're not going to be able to do the wasps right now. I don't know how much stronger we're going to need to get to do the wasps, but we do definitely need to get at least a bit stronger. Okay, so Cavaliers are meant to be able to GM. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, I feel like a good source for like learning a bit about like actual economic theory and some of like the sort of like controversies and pitfalls of it is actually Unlearning Economics. Unlearning Economics is really good. They make very strong videos. Unlearning Economics is a channel about economics by like an economist, right? Who is like who seems to be fairly competent and understand what the hell he's talking about. Let's see. I don't know what I want to do. Let me take a look at our options again. We could go to Bootleg Bay. We could try to do the Ogre Fortress. The Ogre Fortress is about 11 levels higher than the Wasp Nest. So we could walk in there and see how it goes. My guess is that it's going to go really badly. I don't really want to do anything too fancy today. I'm kind of tired and just kind of like feeling lazy, so I don't know what I want to do. It's going to take a lot more work to clear through Iron Sand, but I still could do it. It would just require resetting the resetting the guards' HP values by like going to places. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. That's too much damage in the opening area. On the plus side, we should be able to start getting a lot more shinies. So the issue that we're gonna run into is because of the reduced monster density thus far, we're now way behind. We're like way behind the cap power curve. We've now cleared. Take a look. How many places have we cleared? There's 28 per column here. So we've now cleared out probably somewhere around 20 to 25 areas. And the 20 to 25 areas that we've cleared out have all had reduced loot relative to what we would need to handle the upcoming stuff. So the way to think about it is 50% increased monster density means that there's 50% more damage coming in at you at the beginning of the fight, and there's 50% more damage that they're going to soak through. Massive power increase, right? It's like a 225% increase in the expected damage that you're going to take, because those two multiply together. Because while the first enemy is dying, it's actually not quite that simple, because it depends on how many enemies are in play, but don't worry about it. It might not matter how many enemies are in play, actually. That might not matter, to be clear, but it feels like it might, but it probably doesn't. It's probably all multiplication, so it shouldn't matter. But the... no, it might be 3x plus 2x plus x. Like, if it follows that format, adding 4x to it, which is what's functionally happening, is not multiplication. So since it's not multiplication, it's addition. Addition is hell. Don't if you can avoid getting away with not dealing with like fucking addition, don't deal with addition. Like, addition is not a good math. You shouldn't do it. Nobody do addition, everybody, okay? Just be cool, be chill, use exclusively multiplication. Point being that with each additional enemy that you have, you're increasing damage, not just by increasing the damage that the group is dealing, but by increasing the duration that the group is alive, and increasing the percentage of time that the group is alive that it's dealing a higher proportion of its damage, right? So when you add that 4x to it, you're spending less time at the 1x damage. You know what I mean? Like, does that even make sense to people? So when I'm saying like 4x plus 3x plus 2x plus 1x, if there's 4 enemies, at the start of the fight, you're taking 4 enemies worth of damage. At the end of the fight, you're only taking 1 enemy's worth of damage because 3 of the enemies are dead. Right? So when you add in an additional HP pool that is also tied to damage dealing, it massively improves the amount of damage that they're going to do. Like, it's like huge boosts to the enemies. So things escalate very rapidly. We did not deal with this ore situation that we apparently have. Okay. What am I doing? We're going over here. We're going to start selling this bullshit.
It's worthless.
This is an Axe of Ascension. It's technically stronger. So if we end up getting a bunch of levels for free somehow, which it's tempting to just go to Freehaven and kill some archers, honestly. We have really not gotten a lot of
junk.
Shiny objects at this point that we're at right now.
We could sell it. We could sell it. We could sell it.
It would be real nice to be able to get this equipped, because this is going to be a really solid upgrade for somebody.
It's worthless. It's worthless. It's worthless. We could sell it.
That's a very useful effect.
We could sell it.
Unfortunately, we're going to need to steal it in order for it
sell it
to be usable.
We could sell it.
We're not having the most...
It's worthless.
We're not having the most luck here in terms of
Junk.
getting shiny objects in play.
Come again. Don't touch the merchandise.
Okay. I need to think about what I'm going to do next with the
Who needs it?
massive swing in the amount of damage that enemies deal to each other. I feel like that is probably going to demand some additional shenanigans from me. I just feel like that's the case.
It's worthless.
I need to do something. Unfortunately, we haven't picked up a map yet. It'd be nice to pick up a map that's really easy and barely an inconvenience to clear. I don't know how likely we are to find something like that, honestly. I don't know. Let's see here.
Come back soon.
Unfortunately, we might be moving back into the dark days of having to actually work for our progress. Picking and choosing where we're gonna go. You know, focusing on, you know, obtainable goals. Yada yada yada, all that nonsense. We've cleared a very sizable portion of the maps, actually. And I feel like I've not gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6. So we've cleared somewhere close to a sixth of the maps. Without getting really anything particularly interesting. Like, this is nice, but it's also got terrible stats. So, like, it's fairly good, but also, like... Wait, did I not clear the... I haven't cleared this temple yet, have I? This is like a crazy good source of loot, I think. Let's start clearing through the... I just realized that I haven't cleared this temple. Wait, what level is this temple? I guess we'll find out. This is probably going to be a pretty low level area. I just realized that I don't think I've been here. So I'll have to look through the list and see. Yeah, you're worth 8 EXP. So that's fun and exciting.
Sorry.
We're not going to get any EXP in here, but we should be able to get a decent bit of loot. Yeah, I just completely forgot to come in here. We'll clear this out.
Sorry.
Okay, got a candelabra.
It won't fit.
Now, I didn't pick up food like a sensible person,
There's no room left.
so... I am going to have to do some inventory management soon. Oh, don't worry, she's going to come join us for a long time. We're not turning in any quests, so that little girl is going to be a permanent member of my party until I'm like level 1000.
Got it.
She's going to have a great time. Look, I've played too many JRPGs, so I consider her to be of perfectly reasonable age to go adventuring. If you haven't joined your first adventuring party by age 10, like, you have a serious case of... What's the term? It's not stunted growth. I don't remember what it is. It's for when, like, your like, maturity level is not... like appropriate for your age. I think it's like used in like early childhood education context mostly.
No match for me.
Arrested Development. There's a TV show. Yeah, it is very funny. It's also one thing that's like kind of funny about it is just that it's like they're just it's so rare to see any like Japanese media hit the West that involves a single adult as one of the main characters. Like, it's all children.
Got it. Oh, yes.
Like, all the characters in Final Fantasy VII are shockingly old. Right? Like, the characters in Final Fantasy VII are in, like, mostly their early 20s, and that makes them ancient. Right? Like, Yuffie, who I think Yuffie's like 16 or something, is the youngest character in your party, and in a lot of games that are similar in terms of like their setting, like a fantasy, JRPG. In a lot of games of that genre, she would be the oldest character in the cast. And I think like Tifa's 21 or something, and Cloud is like 23, which is really I think he's older than her, even though she's clearly older than him in the flashbacks. Yeah, I remember playing a game where it was really, really egregious. Like, I think it was one of the Grandia games, and in like this Grandia game that I played, these like you have these two characters that are supposed to be like ancient and decrepit, and they're getting too old for this shit. And it's like the protagonist's mom, who is like 26 or something, and it's like, wait, what is this math? How is the protagonist's mom 26? And like this other guy who's like, oh, he's like 28, and it's like, oh wow, there's like, so old for this, like, I don't remember. I should look that up again. I should figure it out. Because I remember this from my childhood, where it's just like, what is this dialogue? I think that type of dialogue also was in one of the Wild Arm games. I played a single Wild Arms game at some point. I think it was like maybe 4 or something like that. And I'm just not really that interested in. I don't like guns. You play as actual adults in Lost Odyssey. I've heard the name before, but I haven't played it. I should definitely try out Lost Odyssey just for the incredible, like, value in doing so, and just playing as like adult characters.
Yes. Got it.
And to be clear, there's a lot of stories that I think make a lot of sense to tell with young people. Maybe they don't need to be 12, right? But, I mean, hey, a 12-year-old is anime's 23-year-old, right? So... I'll try it out sometime. That sounds like a good time. I don't play that many JRPGs anymore. I honestly like really struggle. Like ever since I started writing, the way that I consume writing has changed. I used to be like an extremely voracious reader where I would just read anything. When I say voracious, I don't mean I read a lot. I still read a lot. But I was hungry for it. I would just consume any trash made by any person and just be like, yes, feed me more trash. Give me everything. And once I started writing, I'm like, okay, well, like, do I want to engage with what you have written when I could just write something myself if I was really that desperate? Once I got into the craft of writing, it ruined bad writing for me. I'm just you know, I hate to say it, but your geriatric, yeah, you know, it's just the dementia hitting you hard, you know, like. It turns out it was just like a very mid and, you know, baseline story, and, you know, it just hits different when you're so old that like only half your brain cells are working anymore. Anyway, I'm like, I don't know, I'm 39 or something. I don't know how old I am. I'm some age, and you know, I've got like only like a quarter of my brain cells at this point. It's pretty bad. It's pretty rough. I'm old enough to be the wizened, ancient, like fucking sensei that gets killed in the first act because they're level 30 so that they can carry you through the early game fights. That's me now. The only possible thing. The only possible narrative value that I serve. But hey, if I live another 600 years, I can start doing interesting things again, okay? I'll have a nice career ahead of me as a villain or something if I get 600 years older. Of course, I'll have shrunk so much that I'll look like an 8-year-old girl when it happens. I don't know why that keeps happening, but for whatever reason, all the people who are several hundred years old. Oh, that sounds fun. I will need luck, because this is like the last dungeon that I can very casually run through. Thanks for the well wishes. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Yeah, I should check the ages on those characters. I just remember it being wild. I'll have to figure out which Grandia it was. The thing is that I actually liked the character. I just thought it was very strange how young they made her. Like, canonically? I mean, what, you're telling me I can't just save it, Will? Okay, we'll finish the dungeon, and then I'll check. Then we'll check. Yeah, I also have to figure out when I'm going to start up that new Digimon game that came out. I have been having fun, like just sort of like digging into some of the random Digimon stuff, and I think that it would be fun to try out the new one. Assuming it's any good. I haven't been getting too much harassment from anybody to go play it. When I say harassment, I'm being silly. Nobody's harassing me in video game recommendations. I do not interpret people's desire for me to engage with things as a form of harassment. It can happen, right? Like, I'm not saying that that's not a thing that can happen, but it's never happened to me. Nobody's harassed me about pretty much anything, honestly. Have I gotten any harassment? I got sexually harassed at work a couple of times, but other than that, no. Other than that, no, not really. But that was before I hit the wall of 22 or whatever. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Some of that might have happened after I was 22. Not that matters. That actually is not a great thing to say. People sexually harassing you, it doesn't matter whether what you look like. That's not really a component of the sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a power play. Well, I guess it kind of depends, right? So there's multiple different types of sexual harassment, and mostly I think these days, if someone's sexually harassing you, they know what they're doing. But it's not. That's not always what's in play. Sometimes they think they're flirting, and it's like, no, this is not appropriate behavior. This is actually not appropriate behavior in the workplace, Yeah, see, gog harassment is the little-known subcategory of harassment. But yeah, so I have been flirted with at work once, and one fellow, not employee is the right word, talent. This was when I was doing modeling. One person when I was modeling, grabbed my ass during some event we were doing, and that was pretty clearly sexual harassment. I was mostly flattered at the time, right? And it's not I don't consider it a huge deal. She's half my size. She's not a it's not a significant threat, which is part of the reason why I was saying that it's generally a power play. It is generally a power play. It's not always. Sometimes it's just horny young people thinking that it's appropriate, and it's we're on a spectrum here. You know what I mean? we're on a spectrum here. Not appropriate, but also not a massive deal in the very specific context that it happened. But also, she shouldn't do shit like that, obviously. You know, this was like, fuck, like 15 years ago. But it's memorable because it's the kind of thing where it just doesn't happen to you every day, you know? It in fact doesn't happen to you like at all. It's a very rare thing to happen to someone like me. Alright, so was that a bat or something? Oh, maybe it was in here. It must have been in here. Okay, I was backtracking, thinking that I had an enemy to kill. Okay, we're gonna track down once we've exited this dungeon, which it probably would be faster going the other way, but we're not gonna worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna track down the age of the protagonist's mother in Grandia 4. It might not be Grandia 4. It might be Grandia 3. It might be Grandia 5. I don't know which one it is, but we are going to look it up. Grandia 1, by the way, is a really good game. Like, it's a very strong coming-of-age story. I think. And that's the thing, it's very reasonable to use teenagers if you're doing a coming-of-age story, but, not everything is a coming-of-age story, you know? Like, Celeste is supposed to be, 15 or something, and she's obviously, 45. Oh, yeah, the top general of, the Empire. It's like, oh, okay, how old are you? 15. What? Look, I'm just saying, Final Fantasy VI has some wacky ages. Let's see, Grandia 4. Which one are you? Okay, there's no Grandia 4. Unless you're lying to me. So it must be 3. It's not. Is it? Maybe? Is this the game with the pilot? Is she in the game with the pilot? Okay. Yes. I know you. Okay, so I just immediately pegged the mom's character design, so I know, recognize her character design. Okay, so Miranda is... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. She's 34. She's 34. She talks like she's 70. She talks like she's 70, but she is 34, not 24. Okay. Okay. I stand corrected. Hey, who knows? It's possible. When I played Grandia 3, I was a kid. I don't know if I was a kid. I was 20, probably, which means that I was a kid. So it's entirely possible that now that I'm older than Miranda, I'll look at her and go, "Oh, she's so youthful." Oh, look at this character. She's just, all this dialogue that she says about how old she is. It's just like me when I was half her age. I don't know. Unclear. We'll see. We won't see. I'm probably not playing Grandia 3 again. I don't remember the game that well. I think it was fine. But the original Grandia had a very fun skill system that I really enjoyed tinkering with. It was a game where EXP, leveling up your characters in terms of experience, was a very, very minor component of your overall power level. Most of your power came from building up your weapon skills and your magic skills and all that kind of stuff, which gave you direct increases to your stats depending on which weapon skill it was. Which skill it was gave you different stat boosts. And so, depending on the way that you played your characters,
Traveling today? The coach leaves right away.
the game could be like massively easier or massively harder. It was a game where, okay, arena seems to just be broken. Let's see here. Okay. We have filed a report. Next, we have an axe. Right. Okay, what we're doing is we're going to
Traveling
Arathi.
today? The coach leaves right
I
away.
remember now. So we finished up that low-level dungeon. We'll see what kind of shinies we picked up. Past tense. Look, tense is hard, okay? Yeah, I mentioned Digimon, like, offhandedly once, and Astro Kitty is immediately summoned. Either that or they were summoned by the discussion of workplace sexual harassment.
Teacher training?
One of the two. I just mentioned that at some point in the near future I should start up the new Digimon game that just came out. What are you? Oh, you're insane. Well, that's fine. You don't have a monobar, so... It just occurred to me that I have to deal with status effects. Where do I want to go now? Let's look and see. Any comment on Olden Era? What is Olden Era? I don't think I've heard of Olden Era.
Traveling today?
You know what? Wait a second. I think you're just commenting on how old I am. Oh, I haven't had a chance to look at the Discord this morning. I woke up at 8:30 and needed to quickly put fuel in my stomach and then start stream. I saw that I had messages in that Discord, but I'm like, yep, can't check that. We have other shit that needs to happen. I need to get live. Let me see. But while we're between tasks, let's just take a look at it. Heroes Olden Era. Oh, right, the Heroes of Might and Magic thing. Yes, I actually did like glance over the text there and didn't parse it. It did not enter my long-term memory. All right. I mean that could be fun. I probably won't end up playing it. I played a ton of strategy games when I was younger, but I just don't play them very much anymore. Like the only types of like strategy games that I play are like the more grand strategy or like 4X games these days. I just don't do the like strategy. Like the smaller scale, like more the I guess I would describe it as more like gamey versions, more like deathmatch versions of those kinds of things. Because the thing that interests me is like the like kind of like the tech trees and the development over time, and those games, like if whether you're talking about like things like StarCraft or you're talking about things like Heroes of Might and Magic, they're like they're scenario based in a way that like it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to play 40 hours of this, I would like for all of my stuff to carry over the entire time.
We could sell it. It's worthless.
I don't really know how to describe it. It's just like a taste difference that has come up over time of like I just don't find the like
Traveling today?
I honestly what it is I don't find the combat that interesting in strategy games anymore. Well, that's not true. I find like the combat interesting in some types of strategy games, but not like the things that we think of as strategy games. The combat in those, I just don't find it as interesting anymore. Like the more the games that have more like simplified combat, or not necessarily simplified, but more automated combat, and which have more character development type stuff, is stuff that I think appeals to me more. Like that's why like is it Ogre Battle? Yes, it's Ogre Battle. Ogre Battle 64 I find more interesting than like the Tactics Ogre games, because like the moment to moment minutia of like managing an individual dude, as opposed to like, as you know, with the Might and Magic stuff, the building a party and then just having the party just
Junk.
do its own thing. Oh shit! Oh shit! That's a Celestial Axe. With luck and might. Well then, let's take a look. Who's getting this? Just throw it in your offhand. Call it a day. I don't think I should stock all my damage. Yeah, it is of darkness. That'll matter a lot once I... Oh, we need to pick up Expert Plate as well. I'll head over to Iron Fist before I forget. God damn, that came out of nowhere.
Enjoy your stay.
This is the first celestial item I've ever found. I've never found a thinger. The celestial items cannot be upgraded with crafting gems or cubes, but scale with player level up to level 1000. So this item we are going to throw a bunch of Ascension Emeralds on. I'm so glad that I didn't use those Ascension Emeralds on that armor. That armor, I was contemplating it. I'm like, okay, well, what's the probability that I actually find an axe between now and, you know, when I have my Ascension Emeralds back? And it's like, apparently 100%. That's not really how probability book works, but we'll run with it. 115%. And that's 118% boosted damage over what we've got. Now, we do run into the issue here that... Actually, what is your coefficient? This halves your max HP. With half your max HP, your vitality is lower than the other characters. I think this effect, this particular effect is actually very bad for us to get on this item. It reduces the number of characters that can effectively use the item by a considerable margin. This gives endurance up the wazoo. Do we swap a muck for this? That drops our endurance massively on this character. And swap a muck onto you.
It won't fit. It won't solve.
I think that's the play. So this means that I don't have to worry about the effect, which is it's just a negative effect for me right now. There may come a point where it is useful to me, but we're not at that point right now. So we have 2,600 damage on you now. Jeez. Going kind of crazy here. Okay, and we haven't finished checking our loot, though probably nothing too crazy here. What was I doing? I was picking up Expert Plate. There is new info on the Arms Master skill. Arms Master now has an additional thing. They've been talking about adding a like higher skill tiers for a while, and they have now done it. So there is now Arms Master Supreme, which gives an additional point of damage per point, and every 10 points in Arms Master increases all the weapon skills by 1. So every 10 points in Arms Master, we have 20 right now, so this would be +2 to the axe skill, basically. Very solid. Like, that's a very solid buff. It's Knights exclusive. So Knights are the only ones who can get the supreme level of Arms Master. Yeah, I like it as well. It's like, Knights are very limited in their, like, their kit. Very few classes are as limited as they are, and the ones that are tend to have some very strong effects. So, like, a Troll has Grandmaster Regen, which in this is actually good. Okay, let's take a look at the other shinies that we picked up. Let's go to the Armor Smith.
Don't touch the merchandise.
We could sell it. It's worthless. We could sell it. It's worthless. We could sell it.
Did we pick that up in the dungeon that we just came out of? Is that where we picked that up?
We could sell it.
Because that's actually very funny
We
that
could sell it.
we just did like a level 20 dungeon and got a celestial item out of it.
Come back soon. Looking for a weapon?
Okay.
Very weak. We could sell it. It's worthless. We could sell it. We could sell it. It's worthless. We could sell it.
Okay, well, I can't complain about any of my gear finds ever again for the rest of this run, because we've now found 2 axes, one of which is an artifact and one of which is celestial, which means they both are going to scale for the bulk of the run. So I can't complain about anything ever again. I've been warned. No more complaints. No more whining. Okay. Oh. Now what do I do? I could pick up expert bodybuilding on somebody if I wanted. It's not that expensive. I could pick up expert bodybuilding on you. I should probably do this, huh? I should pick it up on you, maybe, actually. I can pick it up on one of the two of you right now. I'll pick it up on you, because you're the character that I need to keep alive the most. I need you to not be in one-shot range at any time. Everybody has so much HP, except for the person with cover. So let's fix that.
The store is closed.
Excuse me.
Can I help you find anything?
It's worthless. We could sell it. It's worthless.
Okay. So we've now got a heart that we're going to hold on to for probably the rest of the game. And we have... what else? I guess we should go to Mist, actually, because we haven't cleared Mist either. And Mist is another one of those places where we could potentially get a Celestial item. Let's do it. Let's head to Mist.
Welcome aboard. Raise the plague and
Should be
hoist the
fairly
sail.
easy. The assassins do have the ability to insta-give me, which is obviously an issue, but...
Got it.
They're dropping pretty decent amounts of money, actually. Like, surprisingly large. Oh shit. I need you to... No. Wait, what? The fuck? Wait, what? A single fanatic of Ba just cleaved through that sorcerer. What the hell just happened?
Welcome aboard. Raise the plague and hoist the sails.
What the hell? That was crazy.
Ow!
No, I need you to come back.
Ow!
You were almost dead already. Is this fixed or is this like... This feels like way more damage than I would expect. That's so crazy. Like, I saw it happening in the Figure place, but like not to this level. Like this is madness. Look at that damage! Oh, you're level 60 and the guard's level 17 for some reason. That's why. Okay. It makes sense. It makes sense. The guard is way lower level. I had no idea they were that low level. Why is the guard level 17? 17's so low. It's concerning. was a shame. God damn. The guard just fucking melting. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna avoid that one for now. I'm gonna go around the other way so that I can hopefully pull the other pack away from the guards and then clear them out. So we've now got like a... This is much more vanilla in the sense of like, okay, now we have to protect everybody from the monsters. And maybe that's not super vanilla. It's not super common to be random. Because there wasn't... I don't think 6 had any monster combat at all. And 7 just doesn't have a lot of circumstances where you'd have to worry about it too much. Oh no, we're never going to be able to save the fish, are we? Oh, we cannot save the fish now. There's just no way, right? Yeah, 6 doesn't have guards either. But, I mean, it has peasants. And the peasants are attacked by monsters in 7. Is that a two-handed axe? Did you just pick up a two-handed axe? I think you might have. It was a two-handed axe. Let's just look at it. Not particularly interesting, I don't think. I don't think anybody is going to benefit from this massively. Like, it's a slight improvement for you, maybe. But it's nothing, it's not like a major improvement. Oh, bullet. Okay, we are going to have to reload because that fanatic is going to kill the card, so... I'm like not even looking at what's happening with me. I'm just looking at the red dot moving further and further east, and I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work out for me. Yeah, we've now cleared out the thing that we needed to clear out, which is that other pack that had stored the guard. I'm gonna try to burn. Why do the mystics and bombers so fast? Alright. And now we can just dive. Maybe. Maybe. We cannot just dive. We cannot, in fact, simply dive. Let's pull some, but not all of this pack. The fixator is going to kill me. Oh, they're pulling from really far away, too. Okay, we got the fixator. Fixator down, I can more safely heal people. Is that another tomato axe? Nope, no, 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 no. You go back home, don't worry about it. Taking one shot from a mid-tier is like most of their HP. This is freaking intense. Okay. This is a bit intense. And I guess not? No, there is a new two-hand axe here. Oh, no, it's not new. This is the axe that I got last time, but I died apparently. Oh. But yeah, a new book just came out of the series that I am following, so I'm excited for that. Been reading all sorts of nonsense. There's I was also reading, I read the third Sworn Soldier book from T. Kingfisher, who writes in like a genre that I'm not usually like reading. She writes a lot of like kind of like fantasy romance, right? She also writes a lot of like straight up horror. So there is that. T. Kingfisher is very funny. It's like, oh well, when I want to write anything that isn't under my normal pseudonym, right? Which would like dilute the brand or whatever, and the publishers don't want to publish like horror under her like. I think her name's her like other pen name is Ursula Vernon, who writes is like a famous, children's author or something. I've only read a couple of her actual Ursula Vernon books, but it could be a different Ursula. I know because there's also Ursula Le Guin or something like that, who's also a famous author. There's too many Ursulas in writing. I'm just gonna say it. And I can't. I'm terrible with names. I can't keep their names straight. So, at any rate, whichever one it is, it's someone with Ursula in it. But T. Kingfisher writes outside of their normal scope, which means that like it's a mixture of like straight up horror and just like a bunch of like fun there's like a series of like books about like these paladins. There's a bunch of like paladins books. It's like a whole thing. But it's like the paladins books are all like romance stories that are all just kind of like cute romance stories. It's not a genre I typically read, so I don't get like tired of the. And I feel like they're very tropey, would be my assumption, but I don't know what the tropes are, and I'm just enjoying it. But like the horror stuff has a tendency to be really interesting, and the series that I just finished a book in yesterday was the Sworn Soldier series, which is an interesting like I think it has like maybe kind of like Lovecraft adjacent. It's not Lovecraft really, because it's not like eldritch horror shit. It's more like grounded than that. It's not like celestial horror. It's like just it's horror shit, but it's like I think it takes place in like the Victorian era or something. It's an interesting thing. It takes place in like a fake country that's like I think it's like it's supposed to be in the like the Balkans, basically. I believe that's the case. I don't remember the details on like the history of the country because they're not. It's their horror. They're horror on a very small scale. So the history of the country is not super relevant to the plot, but but it's this basically fake Balkan country that they play with. One of the things that T. Kingfisher does with their books that I think is interesting is that when they have these different cultures, they actually like include like fundamentally like foreign conceptions of like gender in a really interesting way. And like in the Paladins books, there's a group of people that like all of their like gender stuff, like the kind of like pronouns, basically like pronouns and gender type stuff isn't really tied to sex at all. It's all tied to like profession, right? So it's like almost like if you think of like your social caste defining all of your pronouns and your like the things that you would typically associate with gender expression are associated instead with your profession, right? Which is a really interesting and like it's a very reasonable interpretation of like a viable foreign culture's interpretation of this kind of stuff. It's just kind of interesting. And Sworn Soldier is kind of fun because they take advantage of having this like fake country to have like they basically just made up a bunch of pronouns to use for a bunch of different stuff, right? So like the Sworn Soldiers have like their own like gender, like as a group. And it's an interesting dynamic. I don't remember all the details on like the intricate details of the thing, but the like list of different like things that have their own unique pronouns. Because for some reason rocks have a different pronoun than other random objects. And just stuff like that is it's just kind of interesting because when you look at like different languages around the world, they have a lot of like idiosyncrasies that you don't see very much in the in like a lot of the writing and like books with like fake languages in them. One of the things that I think you miss out on with a lot of them is the actual, like, oh, this is like this is a different culture, and things just have different implications. Like, it's not like imagine for a moment that, like, you're from a culture where there just aren't any venomous snakes nearby. And the snakes that do exist, like, are all constrictors, and they're all small enough that they couldn't hurt a person, right? Like, snakes would have potentially a very different, like, implication. Because, like, with most human societies, snakes have a very similar vibe, right? Snakes are not super popular in most cultures. They are in some cultures they're like received positively, right? I mean, they do a lot of good shit, right? They eat rodents. People like things that eat rodents. There's good stuff that is associated with them, but they're also associated with like, oh, I thought I was fine and then I'm dead, right? Like I thought everything was fine and then I stepped in the wrong piece of grass and got killed because I was poisoned to death by a tiny animal, right? Which has implications in the way that cultures look at things. But one of the things that's just fun about different cultures is that because they're different, you can just play with a bunch of stuff that in just fun ways. Anyway, I've been really enjoying the Sword and Soldier series because the like, I mean, yeah, like that's real shit. Like it's funny actually because like I think of Singapore as a country that I think of as being extremely like safe, right? And it's like it's this very urban landscape, and it's like I just don't have much of a sense of self-preservation here. And one of the things that's really funny is that this is a tropical country in Southeast Asia, and I remember I'll just like walk through a grass field because I grew up in the Americas. There's not a lot of snakes in the areas that I've ever lived in, right? Like Florida has swamp snakes. It doesn't have any snakes that are in like tall grass, you know what I mean? Like, and Minnesota, snakes can't live in Minnesota. So, like,
Sorry.
I remember at some point someone being like, "What do you mean you walked across the field?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just walked across the field." And they're like, "Cobras exist, motherfucker. What are you doing walking across a field of like uncut grass? Do you want to die?" I'm like, "Oh." And the thing is, I don't know how much of that is a real threat, right? Like, I don't know how much of that is actually, like, a real concern, and how much of it is people's aunties 50 years ago, telling them not to walk in the tall grass because they'll get killed by a cobra, which would have been more of a concern 50 years ago than it is today. But also, like, a lot of that is, like, it's a very immigrant culture here, right? So it's like I don't know what kind of deadly snakes are in Singapore. I don't know how common they are. I don't know how dangerous the tall grass was 50 years ago. I don't know how dangerous the tall grass is today. I don't know any of these things. But the important thing is that kind of thing just has like an impact on culture. And it's fun to see like just little dips and dobs of like built into your fake cultures. I should probably save before I go after the boss. I don't want to die to a proc in particular, like once we've cleared this out, we'll be pretty set. I think there's only one dangerous enemy here. Oh my god, it's a Broodlord? Okay, so there's 4 dangerous enemies here. You just can't see them all yet. So rude. But hey, it's a Broodlord. That's good for me. That's much more loot. Oh, are you just fully stuck? You're too close to the water. I don't want to fight you there. Whee! Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Still standing.
Okay. Alright, we're just gonna walk away for a second. Never mind. They're gonna immediately come to me. It's concerning. Now I could just walk on the water to get away from them, but I'm not going to yet. Okay, we have one here. Man, bridges are so crazy. I guess I should just go run over to them. Okay, we've got 225 grand again. Bodies are in the floor. Not quite all of them. Okay, that's it. We got them all. Oh shit. And again, this can insta-give me, so we are just going to run away so that we can save. It's also good to save because you don't want to lose all of your shinies to the thing. Anyway, so the other... There's a book that has presumably just come out that I'm looking forward to reading. Okay, you can move now. Perfect. But yeah, it's taken a while in my old age to accumulate like an actual list of authors that I want to read. But we have eventually gotten there. I have eventually reached the point where I have a sufficient number of books that I can actually read, which is nice. Because I really enjoy reading, but, you know, it does require having books that I'm interested in reading, you know? Periodically, like, a friend will just recommend me a book and I'll read it, and then... That's the crazy thing. People don't recommend me books so much as they will, like, be thinking about reading a book, and instead of reading it, they'll, like, ask me to read it. It's very confusing. It's very confusing. They'll be like, oh, you know, have you read such and such book? And I'm like, no, but I can by tomorrow. And then I'll read the book and I'll want to talk to them about it. And they're like, oh, well, I haven't actually read it. And I'm like, well, what is happening? Why are you asking me if I've read a book that you haven't read? Why would you care if I've read a book you haven't read? It's very confusing. Alien behavior. I don't think that I actually clicked on that obelisk, but it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Oh. We could play with some dragons if we wanted, probably. I don't think there's much reason to do
We
that.
could sell it.
Let's take a look at what we've got here. I'm actually thinking about dedicating the second half of stream to puttering around in something that requires a little bit less
Welcome aboard. Raise the flag and hoist the
attention
sail.
to detail. Just because I'm tired. I could even start up Digimon if I wanted. All sorts of things that I can do, all sorts of decisions I can make with my life. You know? You know what? Part of the reason why I'm so tired is probably because I don't have any caffeine in my system because I woke up too late to get caffeine. This just occurred to me that I've been drinking water all morning, which is not what I do in mornings. They are, in fact, somewhat dangerous. In point of fact, they are somewhat spoopy. So we can finish Bootleg Bay, I think. We can also do the Temple of the Fist while we're here, which is very low level, I think. So we do still have a decent bit of stuff that shouldn't be too much of a problem to just sort of cleave through. I don't actually know how high level these are. I didn't cure my disease. Y'all. It's fine. Yeah, the Sworn Soldier series is very, very fun and interesting horror. The reason that I was talking about the interesting stuff like the culture and the pronoun thing, which I'm not awake enough to actually like explain in a way that sounds compelling, is because I don't want to give spoilers for the actual like plot. I don't want to like spoil the actual plot of any of the books, so I'm not like gonna talk about the parts that are important. Just the little interesting tidbits. I also do tend to fixate a little bit on like this I think is an author thing, so I think this comes from being a writer, of just like the things that I fixate on when I'm watching something is often like these little just bits where I'm like, oh, that's a clever creative choice. I've never seen anyone make that particular creative choice before, right? That's the things that tend to like stick in my mind. Is just the little like the little stuff where it's like, oh yeah, that was an interesting thing for me to steal, because you know I'm an author, right? So like it's a matter of like, oh yeah, that's a cool thing, and it's not always about something that I would want to steal. It's just I'm like looking at it from like the perspective of like the writing as opposed to the writing as like. A lot of people like read stories as if they're real, right? Like, I don't suspend disbelief. That's not a thing that I do. Like, it's not like I don't interact with a story and for a moment think, oh, this is a real place. What I'm doing is an active construction of, if this is true, what does it imply about everything else in the world? And, to be frank, making judgments about whether those implications are, like, built upon at all. Whether it's like, okay, the implications of what you have said on page 3, on page 67, are those implications not necessarily like realized, but like is it still internally consistent, right? Have you, author, forgotten what you said 60 pages ago, right? Like, that's a thing that is like structurally very important for me when reading things. It's part of why like horror movies tend to have such garbage endings. And this is like a bit of, I don't know if I call it inside baseball, but it's really just baseball. But when movies are made, the scripts go through a lot of different pieces. Like, they go through a lot of different parts. And a lot of times, script writers will make a really interesting script that touches on some really interesting stuff. And then the things that are interesting about it get shaved off by the time the directors and other creatives are done with it. Right? Like, the producers, the directors, like all the different people who are involved in also realizing the project will often not want to actually actualize, like they won't want to actually do the thing that is in the script, and they'll like just change the ending out because movies are made for idiots. And that's not to say that you're an idiot for liking movies, it's to say that the people that the target audience are idiots. And so they change things in movies to make it so that an idiot can understand it at the expense of the actual, like, theming and the purpose and this, that, or the other thing, right? So, like, there's a movie that I saw recently that was really egregious in this regard, where this was a movie that came out fairly recently, and so, frankly, they should know better. But this was a movie that came out recently where, like, there's basically, like, a ghost that's looking after some children, right? And it's been looking after them for a long time. And throughout the bulk of the movie, the only people the ghost hurts are either someone actually, like, the ghost is not actually directly hurting them, they just get scared by the ghost and they, fall or something. Or someone who's actively attempting to harm the children. Right? Someone is actively attempting to kill the children, the ghost kills them. Right? And so that's like the setup that we have, where it's like, okay, this is kind of interesting, because you have this, like, spooky ghost thing pulling, like, a My Neighbor Totoro horror thing going on, right? And for whatever reason, they ended the movie with, like, this extremely generic, like, psych ward, escapee, oh, this person was such a poor, tortured person, but also they're going to kill the children now, right? Like, the ghost is now going to kill the children. It's like, it just comes completely out of left field. The entire, like, everything we know about the ghost is that it's trying to protect the children. That's the one thing that we know about this ghost, is that it does not want these children killed, and it will kill to prevent these children from being killed. It is very aggressively anti-killing these children. And then, like, the last scene of the movie is, oh, isn't it tragic that we have to, like, I don't know what exorcise the ghost or whatever, because, like, it's evil and wants to kill the children, but also sometimes acts like it's not. Like, it's just this very, like.
Sorry, there's no room left.
So, like, the way that I would describe it is, instead of the movie being about how maybe this monster isn't a monster, right? Like, you know how people say that, like, in Frankenstein, the monster in Frankenstein, which, by the way, I have not read, but this is just a thing that people say all the time. I don't know how accurate it is, but the monster in Frankenstein is not is not Frankenstein's monster. It's Frankenstein. Frankenstein is a monster. He's a really, really terrible person, and his monster is not. Is that true? No idea. I've seen several movies of, like, Frankenstein, right? But, like, there's I could certainly see there's allusions to something in that vein in Young Frankenstein, right? Like, I could see the angle that you could go with to get to there from Young Frankenstein. What I know from that, from what I know from that being, like, the things that feel like they're referencing the original. If that makes any sense. Like, they have a bunch of scenes that are, like, clearly meant to be representing the stuff that is, like, classic Frankenstein. Anyway, so point being, like, there's a tendency for, this is true for, like, especially horror, to be like, oh, well, you know, it's super tragic that this person was, like, subjected to all these terrible things, but all these terrible things they've been subjected to have now made them an irredeemable monster that just needs to be destroyed. And what you end up with is a situation where it's, like, the like, pretty explicit takeaway from most horror is that victims are evil, and it's sad that they're evil, but they're evil and they need to be destroyed. Like, the best case scenario you get, oh, it's sad that they're evil, and it's not their fault that they're evil, but it doesn't matter whether it's their fault, you still need to destroy them, right? And you get, so it's like, you know, okay, like, basically, like, what's the word? The principal conceit of a lot of horror is that subjugated people are monsters, right? Like, that's the people who are subjected to bad things are bad, and sometimes they do that in a way where it's like they are principally like, oh, it's sad that they are monsters. And sometimes they're like, okay, well, actually it's great that they're monsters, right? There's a good horror series that I really enjoyed that came out recently that was just, like, fun, like, slasher stuff. But what they did with, like, the actual, like, villain of the whole thing was, I think, really impressive. Where, like, the whole time, like, they're presenting it as, like, you know, oh, this is, like, I don't think this is specific enough to spoil the particular thing I'm talking about. It's also fairly heavily telegraphed if you're looking for it, but the idea is that, like, oh, okay, you know, there's some witch's curse that is, like, responsible for this, like, evil shit that happens, right? So there's this bad shit that happens, and it's because of this witch curse from back to, like, the founding of the thing, right? Like, you know, back to some Mayflower shit, right? And the founding of the town. And it's like, so it's this original sin, like, you know, okay, this like, witch is, you know, evil and has cursed everybody, and da-da-da-da, and the protagonists spend, you know, the time trying to figure out, like, how to break the witch's curse, and this, that, or the other thing. And the the thing that was fun about it is that you find out over the course of the entire thing that it ain't a witch's curse. That's just fundamentally not what it is, right? It's something else entirely. There is a witch. She's didn't curse anybody, and that's just not what's going on. And it was very fun to see that, because it's like the witch is, you know, some like Irish immigrant who's getting completely shat on in, you know, this like incredibly early era, like we haven't invented the triangle trade yet, so we need to find someone who's closer by to enslave kind of era. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, it was a whole cool thing. I thought it was interesting, and I just liked it. Yeah, I just like when people do like new things with that kind of stuff, and like think about like, well, what have we implied about the world and this setting, right? What have we implied about this? And I think one of the fundamentals of like that makes it so that horror tends to be as reactionary as it is just because it's just they always find a way to fuck up the ending, right? Like every ending has to be this like, you know, this like very formulaic, like, okay, now we have like the tension heightening to this level, and we have to have this very rigid structure that we're following, and you know, this, that, or the other thing, and it's like, yeah, I mean, like, narrative structure is good and useful, right? Like, it's a useful tool, but at the same time, like, you don't need to follow it. You know what I mean? It's like literary rules, right? Like, oh, there's all sorts of like grammar rules, and you know, anybody whose name is extremely famous breaks them, right? Like anyone who is very well known for being an excellent, like, top tier writer, whether contemporary or, you know, historical, they're all breaking the rules because the rules are there to be broken. Now, you have to understand the rules before you break them, right? It's not like you can just break the rules willy-nilly, but, like, the rules are not there to be followed. The rules are there to be bent and broken. When it comes to, like, creative, like, artistic expression. Okay, we're going to heal up. Really struggling with this pack in particular. Okay. I think maybe we will spend the last. I think we'll spend the last hour doing something different. Because I meant what I said about wanting to like mix it up and do different things. It's just been very nice because this week there's been like a lot of. It's been fun doing something so different from the norm, where it's like I'm just kind of like faffing around, like doing chat requests. Like that's like very unusual for me. That's not like a type of gameplay that I usually can really engage with, because I'm too busy listening to the stupid rules that I made. What was it that I was just saying about rules? Rules are meant to be followed to the letter all the time, right? That's what I was just saying? I was definitely saying something like that. I don't think I said something different.
I haven't seen this one. We could spare it.
I'm pretty sure. This is a nasty, nasty critter. A real piece of work right here. Okay, we got it down. Okay, so with that down, the rest of them should be fairly easy to clear out. What time is it? Really, 45%. I was saying what time it was, that's not what I actually wanted to do. What I wanted to know was what percent of this we'd cleared. Almost there. I wonder if that new vampire game is ever going to come out. I really enjoyed Bloodlines. Like, it's an interesting, like, genre where, like, I don't play a lot of vampire games, really. Like, I don't play a lot of them, so it's kind of fun to just dip into them periodically. So what are we thinking? What should we do? The ladder. It is tempting to do some slow time. Because I still have not actually got... I haven't gone to that area. So maybe... Maybe I should do that. Yeah, I could also start up the new Digimon game, but I would prefer to have 2 hours for that. And I'm not going to have 2 hours. Because we're gonna be spending a lot of time going through introductory cutscenes, I'm sure. So yeah, we should be able to clear out. I'm wondering, maybe rather than trying to clear out this whole area right now, maybe I would prefer to finish the rest of the area later and actually just... I don't know if I have enough space to... I don't know if I have enough space to install that. I don't think I can start up a new game. Like, I could do some Ethermancer. If I wanted. Oh, that could be fun. But
This'll be fun.
I don't know. That is a... How... Will I at some point run out of rats? What the fuck is this pack of... Holy shit. Okay. It's still not finished. Okay. Crazy. Okay, we've killed one pack, and it's 30% of the dungeon. Which, I mean, checks out. It's not a big dungeon. And that was a lot of enemies. What level are you, anyway? These are level 73. They're giving basically no XP, so... I think we might be able to leave the dungeon as soon as we kill these. Got another disease in play. Love that for me. Alright, we killed every rat. We got the double switch thing going. And then we go over here. That is a lot of top tiers. I'm behind 2 walls, so I think I'm pretty safe here. But yeah, the 50% increase density means that there should be so many more bosses to kill, because the number of bosses in the dungeon is based off of like how many normal enemies there are. It's like for every X number, it's like 30 or something like that. There's a there. Hey, Free Day. Did their homework on what? I would never do homework. I would simply never. Okay. Yeah, we got around to here eventually. I've done quite a bit of random stuff today. We did Mist, we did the Abandoned Temple, we did some other random nonsense. I think I am actually going to go walk. I guess I don't need to walk out and save. I can just save right here, can't I? Let's just save here. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we actually got some really nice stuff out of the Abandoned Temple.
It's worthless. Sorry.
Abandoned Temple, we got a Celestial Axe. So, not too shabby, not too shabby. Which one was it? I guess it's the one that's actually good now. Yep, we got a Celestial 2-8X. Unfortunately, the legendary effect that it has is completely useless, but it's actually less than useless. It's for this particular party. It's a good effect. It's just not a good effect for the current party that I have. It might be more useful later on for the shaman, but because shamans have a much higher HP coefficient than they have SP. So if I need to maintain an extra buff or two on them, it might end up being valuable. But yep, it's pretty dang good. I can't complain about any of my gear ever again because I've now found an artifact and a Celestial Axe. So you know, a quarter of my gear is like locked in for the next 500 levels. Well, I'm not set for weapons. I still need... still need a lot more where that came from. Well, the artifact is definitely not going to last the entire run. The run goes to 1,000, and the artifact stops scaling at 500. There's no way that that's going to be useful the whole run. I'm not mirroring this axe. It's not that good. That would mean that I wouldn't be able to actually use proper axes that have double stats on them and shit like that. No. The spell coefficient effect on it is actively harmful to multiple members of my party. It's not usable as the template for every character, but it's 1.5 times now, but the enchant that you want on your two-handers is 1.5 times things. Can you orb a soul? So I need... Wouldn't I need 2 orbs to switch the effect? So it stays celestial after I've stolen the legendary effect off of it, and then I can put another legendary effect, and it'll stay celestial the whole time. But the current one I would want to use at some point. Oh, okay, that makes it much more usable because the stats on it are actually very good. It's just the legendary effect that's not super useful. And I definitely don't need a lot of copies of that legendary effect. So it's not unreasonable to overwrite it. I didn't even realize you could just overwrite a legendary effect with another legendary. It's very good. It's just, again, the legendary effect is not good. So if I have the ability to just put another legendary effect on top, that resolves that issue. So yeah, I'll be using this forever. Then I just need to actually get it assembled. Okay, so we've done that, and I think I'm maybe gonna install Digimon. I think that's maybe what I'm going to do for the second bit of stream. Because it doesn't require as much work. So, I will return momentarily. I'm going to end stream here. We've cleared out... Wait, did I... I didn't actually identify my stuff. I'll identify this stuff and see if there's anything that's particularly interesting.
Who needs it?
Before we end. I don't think there is, but we'll check.
Junk.
Because I don't think I have, like,
It's worthless.
two-handed axes or anything like that.
It's worthless.
And then we'll be... I think we'll maybe just do, like, an hour of the new Digimon game.
It's worthless.
I'm just feeling tired, and I feel like I should
It's worthless.
switch it up a bit. Because I've been meaning to switch it up a bit for the last week, and I haven't actually engaged with that yet. So... Oh, you know? Sometimes you think that you're not going to get an interesting thing, and you get a build that's extremely powerful. This will be very useful. Okay, who's our fastest character right now? You. No. I refuse. I refuse to follow the rules. We're not doing that. We're not giving that to you. We're not giving you the percent-based damage. Why are you so fast? Holy shit. Oh, actually, the fact that you got disease is great, because that'll allow me to purge off that insanity effect, too. Let's see here. Not that I really need to for a character that doesn't have SP, but... what was I doing? Belt, yes. Who do I give this to? I could give it to the shaman. Then I'd have 2% base damage effects on this shaman, which is not really what I want. Maybe I do give it to you, but it's a good defensive belt is the issue. Who has the lowest durability? You do. You're such a poor thing. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you.
There's no room left.
You have decent speed. You're not like the slowest on Earth. Well, you know, story of my life. Yeah, I have no idea how I got, my first. This is the first celestial I've ever found. The first celestial that I've ever found is a celestial weapon of the exact type that I need, with a legendary effect that isn't really what I want, but apparently that can be replaced. So that is pretty damn huge. And the other thing that's crazy about it is that I don't even need to invest resources into upgrading it. It just does it on its own. And it's what, like might and luck, which are both stats that I'm gonna need scaling forever. It's pretty good. Okay, we're saving the game, and I'm going to be ending stream here. I will be back in a couple of minutes, but I'm ending stream here just because it makes it easier for me for the VODs. So for anyone who is watching the VODs, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. And for anyone who's going to be sticking around up in the live, or someone who's watching the Digimon thing after this for whatever reason, I don't know, as a VOD, then see you in a second.